all of the prep you do, all of the way that you approach this as an actor you're in it. Like, you're in the pocket. You're right. You haven't been off your path. So it was very validating in that way. And I think obviously I've had bigger jobs since, but that moment for me is just still such a shining example of like, you have to trust your gut, and it has to be your process. It has to be your way of doing this, because if it's right for you, it's right for you and it works.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Talent Agent Talk, where we are bringing you educational lessons and real-life stories behind the scenes of TV and film. I'm your host and a talent agent, Jason Lockhart, and today our guest is Marissa Chanel Hampton.
Hi. The full name.
You're always three in every
Yes.
booking email.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and here you are looking like a politician,
Yes.
you know, a politician or the politician's wife, and you
Yeah.
can play both.
Yes. With my beauty wave. Beauty pageant wave, yeah.
Were you ever in beauty pageants?
No, I think my mom, I don't know if anyone used to get they'd send those letters and they'd be like, do you want to do I'm also from Indiana. So they used to send do you want to do the Miss Indiana pageant? And mom was like, absolutely not. Go pick anything else. So It was a no. Yeah.
Are you and your mom close?
We're very, very close. And to the point with some people, I've always laughed because people are like, oh yeah, I call my mom once a week. I'm like, oh, it's a lot. I've already talked to her at least 4 times today.
Really?
So, yeah.
I bet she's going to see this.
Oh, I know she will.
What's her name? We got to give her a shout.
Marie.
Hi, Marie. Thank you. Thank you for making such a wonderful human. Congratulations to you.
She'll love that. She'll eat it up.
Well, you know what? I have a compliment for you too, though, because honestly, I was like, what booking do we even talk about? You have so freaking many. You're always working, it seems. And I was actually talking to a mutual friend of ours about why I thought you were always working. And then I think it's your personality on top of your talent and your can-do positive attitude.
Thank you.
What do you think? Is there anything that gets you out of bed in the morning about this industry that makes you feel good and excited to be a part of it?
Well, I personally really appreciate that. I don't ever think that rejection is personal. So every time you guys will be like, well, it's on. And I'm like, on to the next, whatever. I just have never felt that a lot of this is personal, but every single job for me is a learning experience. And I never feel like I come to set being like, I've got this. I know everything. I feel like every time I show up, it's the first day of school again. And there's so much promise. And I feel like every opportunity, even sometimes when some actors are like, I'm ready to move on from this type of role, I'm always like, you don't know what it's going to look like. And there's been a couple of things where you've been like, yeah, by the way, now it's 2 episodes. Now it's 3. So I've never found anything I've done to be quote unquote a waste. And I do believe work begets work. So
I think so
that's
too.
just my philosophy.
And it makes the casting directors love you.
Well, I want to be a solution. I'll never forget. I can't remember what teacher, coach who said that you should always be the solution. Walk into the room, go into your tape thinking that you're the solution to a casting director's problem. So I'm like, great, if I'm your utility knife actor that can deliver, yes. And you're like, this was actually meant for a man. I think that's happened once. But we'll have Marissa tape for it. I'm like, sure. And then it turns out you get to work with Michelle Pfeiffer. Who cares? It's always, I think it's an adventure. I think sometimes we take it very seriously and we play pretend for a living.
And get paid for
yes.
it. Sometimes very well.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, so I know one of your favorite jobs is Watchmen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can you take me back to that audition? Do you remember that?
Yes. And this was pre-pandemic, very in person. And I'm a comic book nerd, more so Marvel than DC. But I remember somehow, I don't know where the scoop came in that I was like, oh, this is a comic book. Because, everything is code named and whatever. And the language was very period. So I was confused. I couldn't figure where it fit in. And I just remember, I was like, I'm going in room. I have a big thing about dressing very specifically for auditions. Obviously not to costumey, nothing like that. But I feel like it helps me as a performer to fully wardrobe myself. Down to the shoes. It's all important. And I picked something. I was like, this feels, I don't have the year exactly, but I was like, this is a period piece. Everything is screaming in these 4 or 5 lines. This is a period piece. We're dropped into something really traumatic, something very serious. And I remember walking into the room And Rebecca and Megan were just so like, yeah, trying to give more information. Just like, 'cause I feel like a lot of people were sort of so like, everyone was trying to like figure out where we were in this very mysterious, no information given universe, coming into something that was like very emotional. And I was like, no, let's just try this. And I was very, very gone into the emotion. And I'll never forget, I left that audition going, if I didn't book that, that's absolutely fine. But I've never felt so clearly that I knew who Lorna was. I knew what the scenario was. I just felt so clearly with zero information that I got it. We get the information that I have a director's session and we go back. Nobody has any notes or adjustments. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great to know. I sit down and I do it once. And Stephen Williams, our director and also one of the executive producers, was like, stop. Like, he was like, this is it. He was like, obviously, like, you know, we can say these things, but like, it was just such a lovely, like, moment of being validated. He was like, not only did you clearly drop into something that had zero information, but like that's it. That's Lorna. That's the moment. That's everything this is giving. And I hadn't been validated that way as an actor in LA, like, period, from the jump. So it just felt like after years of being like, am I good at this? Just having someone look you in the eye and say, like, all of the prep you do, all of the way that you approach this as an actor you're in it. Like, you're in the pocket. You're right. You haven't been off your path. So it was very validating in that way. And I think obviously I've had bigger jobs since, but that moment for me is just still such a shining example of like, you have to trust your gut and it has to be your process. It has to be your way of doing this, because if it's right for you, it's right for you and it works. And it may not be like what this teacher says, what this coach says, but sometimes it's uniquely, patently you. And it was just a very intimate moment in a room with myself and Steven and Megan and just everyone being like, yeah. So it was just quite amazing. And then later we come out of that and I'm like, yeah, if I don't book it again, I still feel like this feels like Lorna feels like mine, which is such a like dangerous thing, I feel like, to say in this business.
You set expectations suddenly, and then it can
go any way. And also
anyway.
like, it's not
Beyond your
personal.
control.
Yeah. It's like I've heard someone say it's 20% of it is our control. And like the other 80% is who knows.
And that's a scary place to just live your life.
Right.
You know?
But I also think it's freeing, because if you do all 100% of your side, that's it. You know, the rest, it's not your fault. So I feel like that takes a lot of pressure off, at least to me. But when it came back, I had booked another job like immediately in the same time. And I was standing in a fitting and my reps at the time are like, hey, so you also booked Watchmen and there's an issue. And I was like, oh, okay. Yay, but also what? And I was so confused because at the time I'm like I said, I very much so believe work begets work, and that you like, I don't really turn down work unless there's something that doesn't resonate for me. But it was such a like big kerfuffle and a bunch of turmoil, and things became like, well, this will be this and this will be that. And how do you know the value of this? But I knew that Watchmen was going to be special. Again, who knows? You never know. But I just felt inherently that there was something so important about it. And then we did like the early millennial 2000s, like phone a friend. And then you got looped in somehow and you were sort of like, go with your gut. And like, you got to feel like this sounds like a very good job. And that was validating. My manager in LA was like, I don't know, man. They're telling you like HBO says you're the person, for something so, to me, small in that piece of the puzzle and that much vote of confidence. Again, and then I was questioning because outside voices, and it was just such a moment. I was sitting in the parking lot outside of my day job, just like sitting on one of those cement little blocks in the parking lot going, wow, I'm in such conflict over something that I felt very certain of every time I leave the room, every time, like me as an actor going, this is right. And I ended up sort of having to make a decision and, you know, saying no and making all these choices when, you know, you're not a big quote unquote name is like, hope no one is angry or you burn any bridges, which at the end of the day, it didn't. And everyone knows like who you are as a person. So it worked out. But being on Watchmen and picking Watchmen was just like knocked out of the park experience. Like I will never have another experience like that. Like between the fitting, directing, like everything was so in sync and in synergy. And then to watch it and then also see it as a fan, like I just think it was a beautiful piece of art, and it was like a lot of fun. And that was like the start of my like, okay, like you get to be in superhero things now. That's what you've always wanted. So
and you didn't even know that it was Watchmen. Like,
No,
that's another cool lesson that I heard underneath everything you were saying. You know, like there are actors that get really caught up in the like, I need to know everything.
Yeah.
And they're messaging us like they want more, they want so much more information. You had none.
No.
You only focused on what you had. And you just said it was a knock out the park kind of an experience in your life.
Like
You didn't let anything cloud your path that wasn't actually necessary.
Yeah.
It might be necessary sometimes and it might be helpful.
yeah, but then there's sometimes as actors, I feel like we tell ourselves like, oh, I need this to do this. And I'm like, actually, you're a genius creative engine. Like you got into this because you have a genius imagination. Like how much of that is helpful to you and how much of that is just like stuff you'll spin out about. So,
Yeah. I love that. Is there anything great that you learned on set that you could take away or would
Absolutely. It's a lot of weeping. Like if you watch it, like it's just crying and crying, and it's take after take after take after take of like crying from just getting right. And we filmed in black and white, or like it's a totally black and white, very like specific, like there was a clear vision for that experience. And then there was like a prosthetic, and there were so many pieces. And I'll never forget, Jovan comes up to me, he's a fantastic actor, and he's like, you good? You need some water? You need a break? And it hadn't even occurred to me that I could be like, I need a second. Like the person who's like having this full emotional experience, who's like coming to the realization that she's murdered
you
a bunch of
just kept
people.
doing
I was
it.
like, I'm just going to be an actor. I'm a workhorse. This is what I do. And I was like, well, maybe before you dehydrate, like it's okay to say, I need like 5 minutes. And just being able to, again, know that like you can take a take back. Like you can say, hey, this is actually a lot of heavy emotional labor. Like we can take a beat. And before that, I'm so used to like show up, deliver, and like do a good job because that's who I am as a person. But I was like, wait,
you're allowed to take a beat.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Oh, what a great story and a couple of great lessons in there.
I was happy with it.
Well, I have one more question for you. Do you have a dream role?
Yes. I would love to do horror again. I love horror movies. If anyone who knows me well is like, what's Marissa doing? She's watching something ridiculously terrifying.
And I never knew that about you.
Oh my gosh. Creepshow was my favorite
That was such a
job.
great role.
Like that was just the most fun. I was there even when I was
You were one
like
of the stars of that.
it was
You know,
fantastic.
I mean, it was
That's one of my
great.
favorite jobs. People are like, I'm like, no, like Watchmen and Creepshow, when anyone asks a question, it's that. But like I was standing watching them like set people on fire, cut someone's head off. I was like, yes, please, can I stay? I'm not working today. I can be here. Great. So I would love to do any type of horror. Like I'm one of those people who's like first in line to see The Conjuring, like everyone. Like that's my thing.
Wow. I mean, I'm up there with you. I
yeah.
really, I love horror. I love the Terrifier series.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just so much of this stuff.
Yeah. To be a final girl, I'd be like, yes. Yeah.
Interesting. That day will come for you.
I hope so.
That role will come for you. It's probably already
It's
being
percolating.
written. They're just waiting
Okay.
for you to sink your claws into it.
I'll receive that.
Okay. Well, as a thank you for being here, I
Oh.
do have a gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
You've won a free car if you'd like to reach in and pick
Okay.
one out. But don't look. Don't
Okay,
look. Just
okay.
let it be a
Let me-
surprise.
Let me see. Oh, this
what did
is
you
a
get?
Lamborghini, which feels very
Wow.
on par for like
That's
my
a pretty badass car.
car choices. This is
Black
right.
and gold.
This is it. Yes. This would be perfect for me. Yes. So
Awesome.
thank you
Well,
very
take
much.
that home and let its energy just thrive in
Absolutely.
your world.
Yeah, I like it. Thank
until
you.
until you pull up on a horror set in your own black Lambo.
Yes.
Well, Marissa, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate it. And to our audience, thank you for tuning in, especially you, Marie. I hope that everybody learned something today from our show. We love doing this. Thank you to Jesse Malinowski and Get Seen for producing for us. And if you would like to be a guest on our show because you have your own cool booking story with a lesson, you can pitch it right to us. It's talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Again, that is talentagenttalk@gmail.com. Marissa, thank you.
Thank you.